What if your website could sell your work for you while you're at your workbench? I reviewed 22 florist websites and discovered a few surprising things. If you're new here, my name is Kathleen, and I am a floral designer on a mission to make it easier than ever for florists to make money, attract those dream customers, and thrive doing the work that you love. Ultimately, I want to take the guesswork out of what it takes to be successful. Today, I'm revealing the missed opportunities most florists have on their websites and show you how a few simple but very strategic and intentional changes can help you attract those premium clients who give you ultimate creative freedom and are willing to pay a higher price for your work. You're going to learn how to have a website that builds trust, establishes credibility, showcases your unique approach, and ultimately helps you make more money without you having to work any harder or spend thousands of dollars to solve the problem. I interrogated 22 different florist websites. I looked at the messaging, I went through the user experience, made notes about my first impressions, and dug into the details on a mission to deconstruct their sales and marketing process. And there were actually 3 common mistakes that I saw across almost all of these websites. And the first one is skipping past the know, like, trust process. So if you've never heard of the know, like, trust process, no matter what you're selling or no matter what a human being is buying, it's the 3 specific steps that every single human needs to go through before they're going to pay any money. So they need to know you exist. They need to like what you have to offer. They need to trust that you are going to deliver what you say you're going to deliver. And then they're going to pay you. And I know you and I, as human beings, want to just have people show up and instantly throw their credit card at us. But what happens in reality is that we need to guide people through that know, like, trust experience. And your website is the perfect place to make that happen. But when you don't go through that process on your website, what happens is that your customers are confused. And a confused customer never buys. Mistake number 2 is missing the location information. And this one is really easy to overlook because you know where your business is based, but it's one of the fastest ways to actually lose customers on your website. If you haven't made it obvious and abundantly clear what city you're based in, and if your customers have to go through an iota of effort, if they have to use an ounce of energy to figure that out, they are immediately going to bounce off your website and just move on to the next thing. So this is kind of one of those absolute musts in terms of converting eyeballs on your website into actual paying customers or new wedding inquiries. Making sure that it is screaming from the rooftops that you're a florist based in the location that you're based in. Mistake number 3 is not answering the question of how does this work? Most florists assume that customers understand the process. This is particularly true because our customers talk like they understand the process. Every single wedding inquiry is going to start with, I'm getting married and this is my wish list. Every person that walks into your shop is going to say, I'm looking for a mix of roses and lilies. They use the right language, but you know how secretive our industry is. Our customers have no idea. If you surveyed the next 10 people that you talked to and you ask them, when are peonies in season? They're going to give you a completely blank stare. They assume that you could walk into your cool room, press some magic buttons, and this is going to come out of the vending machine. But on your website is the perfect opportunity to help bridge that gap. And you get to communicate with your clients and talk them through how the process works. And I'm not talking like write a 2,000-word blog post. I'm talking like 3 bullet points that are on your main sales pages that are like, oh yeah, here's how the process works. Here's how you inquire for a wedding. Here's how online ordering works. Here's how signing up for a floral subscription works. But I guarantee you, if you go in and you look at your competition's website, you're going to see that information is missing. But that is the number 1 question your clients have. How the heck does this whole thing work? And remember, your customers show up on your website confused and overwhelmed. You get to hold their hand through this process and you get to lead them through that know, like, trust process and answer the most obvious questions. They're going to fall in love with you so quickly, it's going to blow your mind. One of the greatest opportunities you have on your website is to take advantage of the halo effect. And this is where science and buyer psychology really comes in handy, because your clients and prospective customers are going to use your website as a placeholder, as a shortcut, as a sign of how good a florist you are. Now, you and I know that the aesthetics on your website, the overall look and feel, and having a premium website experience has nothing to do with being good at floristry. Those two things are completely different, but your clients don't know that, because your clients see the whole package. They see the entire experience. They want it to ooze premiumness from the second that they land on your website, because that's actually going to then create a halo effect through the entire experience and their entire interaction with you. So this is one of those things that I will say, like, punch above your weight, and I want you to put out as professional and aesthetic and as premium an experience as you could possibly imagine, because that premium experience on your website is going to be so powerful for you to be able to attract those premium customers to your business. I want you to think of your website experience and the overall vibe that you're offering to your customers as like 50% of the value that you're giving your clients. So that the value of any single design, the value of a wedding bouquet, a value of your subscription actually starts from the minute that they land on your website. So your website isn't one of those things where it's like, I'm just going to chuck some things up and just to get it done. No, this sets the tone for the entire relationship. There is a direct correlation between your website aesthetic and the type of clients you attract, the prices you could charge, and the creative freedom you have. If you have a premium website experience, your customers aren't going to be micromanaging what ingredients are in your design. If you are on a mission to elevate your marketing, if you want to attract premium clients, if you want more sales without working any harder, and you want your website doing the heavy lifting in your business, these are the 4 things I want you to do. Number 1, have a clear client journey for every single service you sell in your business. I like to think of it this way: 1 page, 1 service. You're going to have a separate page for every service that you offer in your business. If you do weddings, funerals, and workshops, and subscriptions, and you do online orders, that means you're going to have 6 separate pages on your website. Because the person signing up for a floral subscription compared to the person who wants to sign up for a workshop, compared to the person who's looking to send flowers for a new baby, they all have different messaging needs. The fastest way for you to increase your sales is to make sure you have a separate page for each one of those services. So clarifying that client journey and ensuring that you're making it really obvious to your clients where you want them to go next based on what they're looking for is going to be the fastest way for you to increase your revenue. Number 2, simple, targeted messaging. Remember, your messaging is there for your customers, giving them confirmation that they're in the right place, demonstrating your expertise, making it clear to them what the next step is in the process. I want you to think of it like if you were walking into a brand new grocery store. Obviously, you walked in the door because it said grocery store. They've made it obvious what they sell and what this place is all about. From there, you'll notice above every single aisle in the grocery store that they have a handful of items listed. So it might be things like baking or food storage, international foods, chips, pop, cat litter, diapers, bread. The people that own the grocery store know that the way that they're going to help increase sales in the grocery store is to make it easy for customers to find their way around. That's what your website navigation headlines and that's what the buttons on your website do for your customers. So you get to guide your clients through every single step in the process and make it really easy for them to know that they're in the right place. Here's the next step I want you to take, and here's how to order. And then number 3, I want you to sit down and I want you to interrogate your own website, and I want you to do it on a laptop. I want you to do it on your phone. And I want you to do this when you have a clean, fresh perspective. So whether that's first thing in the morning after you've had your first coffee, or if you're more of a night owl, go in and really interrogate and pretend like you are your own customer in your business. And particularly if it's been a while since you built your website and now you're like, I haven't looked at it in a long time. I want you to go in and test every link. I want you to make sure that it looks aesthetic on mobile. I want you to make sure that it's all making sense. and that functionally it works the way that it's supposed to. We all do this, where we go in and we add new stuff, or we update a photo, or we create a new PDF and then the link breaks or something doesn't work. It always happens. But if it's been a hot minute since you've actually interrogated your own website, this is a really helpful exercise. If you're looking for bonus points, you could even hire a friend or enlist their help and tell them you'll buy them a coffee so that they do the same thing for you. And then piece number 4, I want you to look at your website and the flow of your content with the goal of it being a hands-off sales experience. One of the mindset shifts that I found really helpful in my business was to realize that my website could be doing the selling for me 24/7. And that means that it's pre-qualifying any wedding inquiries or new brides, that the messaging is clear so that people who are looking for online orders or wants to place a flower delivery know how the whole thing works, what to expect, and where to order. But instead of just thinking of your website as a nice to have, I want you to think of it like your ultimate, most hardworking team member in your business. That it is the thing that's driving sales in your business. And it is the thing that's helping you grow your visibility. And it is the thing that helps turn new leads into actual paying clients. Your website gets to do so much of the selling for you. And it's like the ultimate way to free up your own time. It's not this thing that just like sits off to the side and you're like, well, I guess I should have it. And then you go off and do all these manual things. But instead, you get to use your content to vet new wedding inquiries. You get to set up your online catalog so that you have a really healthy average online order value. You make it really crystal clear how clients can reach out if they want a custom quote on a specific design. Heck, you can even set it up so that it's doing the actual hiring and job application process for you. When I tell you getting your website sorted is like one of the secrets to running a high profit business, I mean that so literally. So having said all of that, here's a few quick wins that you could implement today with your existing website. Look at your homepage, and particularly that top section, that top banner of your homepage. Before you scroll down, before anybody has to click a button, is it obvious where you're located? And if you have an iota of doubt, ask your brother, ask your dad, and ask them to look at it on their phone and just be like, hey, is it crystal clear that I'm a florist based in Chicago? And if it's not, that's assignment number 1. Number 2, when you go through your website, double check that it's optimized. You are going to notice some gaps or opportunities for improvement. Before you jump in and start actually making those updates, just make yourself a list. You could do this on the Notes app on your phone. You could set up a whole checklist in Notion, but create yourself a specific list of the new pages you want to create, the messaging you need to refine, the photos you might update, like the pieces of the puzzle that are gaps to be filled. Because as you go in and start to interrogate the content on your website, the flow, navigation, top menu, and user experience, you're going to see places where you are confusing things for your clients, where there are gaps and missing information, where there are just opportunities for improvement. And it's so easy for us to like want to hurry up and go in and jump and just make all these changes. But I swear to you, your future self will be grateful if you just pause long enough to make the list. Make the list first of every single thing you want to update, and then just start chipping away every single week. Related to that, one of the very specific things that's super helpful to look at is that top menu. So your main navigation on your website, that's exactly like the signage at the grocery store. That top menu and navigation gets to be the thing that cuts through the confusion and the overwhelm for your clients. Separate out your services, make it easy for your clients to know if you want to order flowers, click here. If you're signing up for a subscription, click here. If you're thinking about a wedding, click here. If you want to order flowers for a funeral, click here. If you want to just talk to a florist, click here. Interrogate that menu with the goal of simplicity and as streamlined as possible. These days, more than 50% of your prospective clients are going to be on their phone. We can't have menus that are pages long. We're talking simple language, clear direction. That's going to create high impact. And one of the biggest watch-outs is none of this has to require a giant website overhaul. And in many cases, it's more likely that you have too much content on your website, but that you're missing some of the integral pieces. You can also apply this same thought process to your photos. So making sure that there's a good, healthy balance of premium designs, but also showcasing the fact that there are real life human beings in your business. Making sure that you are front and center on your website and that it's really clear to your prospective clients that there are real life human beings in this business who care about your customers, who care about what they're going to order, who care about offering a premium service, and who care about quality. If your goal is more sales, better clients, increased profitability, the answer is going to be get your website doing the selling for you, because that's going to be the foundation for your growth. It's also going to save you a huge amount of time, cut down on the manual work, and way less admin. You're going to see an increase in your average order value, an increase in the quality of clients that come your way, and you truly are going to blow your own mind with how simple selling gets to be as a florist. And the last thing I will mention is that every new day, there's a whole new group of customers coming your way. So do not wait and start actioning your to-do list for some time in the distant future. You can make one change today, and that could have a positive impact on the person that lands on your website tomorrow. Then you make another change on Saturday, another change on Tuesday, 3 more changes on Friday. And within 2 weeks, you'll have updated 50% of your website. You'll be like, oh my gosh, I am so glad I started when I did, because every new day, there is a whole new group of customers coming your way. They won't have a clue what your website looked like yesterday, because today they're on a mission to order flowers, inquire for a wedding, sign up for a subscription, book into a workshop. They care about what your website looks like today, so don't delay. Take that to-do list, put it into action, and make sure that you are crystal clear on what that client journey is from the minute they land on your website to the sale actually happening. Refine and simplify your messaging. Go through and interrogate to optimize the online experience. Set your website up so that it's doing the selling for you and that the sales are happening with a more hands-off strategy. And if you found this video helpful, you might also like this video. I walk you through my framework for setting up your online catalog to increase your average order value, and my high profit strategy for getting more online orders and being more profitable. I'll see you in the next video.